Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the Football Pyramid Talk podcast. Joined just by George today. How are you, mate?
I'm alright. Simon's off. It's just us two.
Us two, mate. We'll make do, though, won't we?
Of course we will. Let's do it.
Let's do it. How's your week been?
Fucking brilliant.
Weekend?
What
Yeah.
a weekend. Went up to
Had a
Forest.
good one.
After... Well, we both went up to the 7-0. I think you got trauma. I had the... Well, I was shitting it, but I put myself out there and won again.
Yeah.
And we got the win. So...
Yeah, you were braver than me, mate. I made a stand not to go after that, but yeah, it was big. We might as well start with that then, mate. To be honest, we'll start with Brighton, massive 2-0 win on the road. Another clean sheet. What's that? 4 games without a loss. Yeah, really good all round. How was it in the away end? Limbs?
Absolute limbs, especially for the second goal. I mean, because, Brighton were under the cosh for basically that whole second half. And then for Simas to come on and score, the youngster, he struggled a bit before that. He didn't really, he was sort of just like chasing ghosts, really. So,
And he had that chance that he just messed up completely. He should have just smashed it in, and he took a touch trying to be too clever.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. He should have just hit it straight away, but he got the goal. But Brighton looked so good defensively, I thought. I thought the whole back line in general. Dunk was incredible.
Yeah.
Top draw. Weaver was, I think, the star out of the 4, maybe. I think he's definitely up there. If he did the fantasy football defensive contributions, if they allowed you to get like double for it, he would have got double because he got 25 defensive contributions.
Crazy.
That's absolutely mad. I think that must be the most by a player this season. If it's not, it's definitely up there because that was unbelievable from his point of view. I thought he played really well. And Ferdy, again, on top form, isn't he? And he had another astounding performance.
Yeah, he was a standout for me, Kadioglu, in the back line, but I agree all of them were brilliant. So, I mean, people need to put some more respect on Dunk's name, even amongst the fan base. Like, he's been so good this season, and he's proved the doubters wrong, because I think, to be honest, like, even both of us at one point, we were thinking, like, I think he's going to get phased out of the team. We've got Boskagli coming in, Coppola. And it was just kind of looking that it was going that way. But, I mean, he's been so good, hasn't he?
He's been unbelievable. And, yeah, it's a real shock, as you said, because Boskagli coming in, Coppola coming in. You think maybe they're resorting to maybe dropping him this season, but he's put them aside and he's been absolutely incredible. He's been one of the best seasons in a long time, since probably when he was in and around the England squad, really. Since then, he's been putting in performances to really top levels, which we're used to him seeing, because last season was not the Dunk we know, and he was very poor, which shocked a lot of Brighton fans. But to see him in the form he's in now, it's really good to see, because he was an absolute colossal back there. Nothing got past him. He put his body on the line about 500 times.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, it was a nervy away end because, got it in my notes that Hutchinson I thought looked really good. He had the better of some of the Albion defenders a few times, got some good areas as well. And Elliot Anderson shows why he's, in and around the England set up at the minute. I thought he was really, really good as well. Probably best player for them over the 90 minutes. But Hutchinson looked like a real threat when he came on. But yeah, I mean, we're in 5th now. Very promising signs, we're up into 5th, and I saw something about Glasner complaining about transfer budgets, which is probably one of Simon's talking points. He likes his little into detail, doesn't he? But I saw something about that, which could be on future podcasts. But with the budget we've spent, I think we're doing really well with it. 5th place, and midweek against Villa, we'll have to see how that goes, because that's a huge game for Brighton.
Yeah, don't want to speak too soon, but it does feel like it's starting to come together a bit now. Whereas previously it's been kind of looking to gel to what the manager wants to do, looking to
Mhm.
gel as players and as a team, and then really just looking to get a solid starting 11.
Mhm.
But I like the way we set up. I think not Simas, Ferdy and Maxim de Kuiper on the left work really well together. We mentioned Ferdy already. De Kuiper obviously got the first goal, lovely finish, and he was right involved before that. He had loads of really good moments. So, I mean, I think that should be the way we go when Mitoma's out for the foreseeable, having those two on the wings, because I think they complement each other nicely.
Yeah,
I was going
definitely.
to say, if we're talking about FPL as well, Ferdy Kadioglu, owned by 0.2% of players, and I've got him in. Last 3 weeks, he's got me 6 points, so absolute banker.
Mm.
And he can get a goal or an assist as well, so
Like the
yeah.
Kuiper person
Yeah,
person I went up to the football with alongside my dad, Ruben from the football. You'll know him.
yeah,
Telmo's son. He had the Kuiper on the bench. He was absolutely gutted. I
yeah,
think it
man.
was like a 15 odd pointer or something because he got a goal, clean sheet, played the 90.
Stinker,
So it's a
stinker.
stinker from his point of
Yeah.
view.
No, it was really good. I was really happy with it, and long may it continue. I was saying to my boys though, they were around watching the game. It's weird because like teams that are below us, Palace, Bournemouth, Sunderland, all getting really bigged up, but I don't see nothing about Brighton this
Yeah,
season,
I
which is
like that
almost,
though. I like
yeah, I
that.
was going to say that almost plays into our hands a bit. Come off the radar and then just focus on what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I think Özil will like that as well, not being because whenever we were sort of brought up a lot last season for because he was a what was he 31-year-old manager his first season, he's going to get lots of praise for what he does. But now he's had a first season, he's probably gone a bit under the radar because he's lasted the season. People were doubting him because of his age and stuff like that. But now second season, it's gone under the radar a bit, and we're flying. And I think from his point of view, he's a bit of a not complete. He's like the complete opposite to the Zerbi in terms of how he'd love the praise to Zerbi,
Yeah,
but I think Hersler would like it, just sort of under the radar, like
yeah,
because he'd just probably say the same thing. He'd be like game by game, we've got to keep performing stuff like that. But yeah,
yeah. He's definitely more low key, isn't he?
yeah, exactly.
And I like that about him. So I think he's a really good manager.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioned Sunderland and Bournemouth there. They had a really good game. Don't know if you caught the highlights, but
Yeah,
some cracking goals in it. Ended up 3-2 Sunderland. They come back from 2-0 down. Tyler Adams got the second goal for Bournemouth to put
really
them
good.
yeah to put them 2-0 up in the first half. Unbelievable goal. Must have been about 40 yards out,
Yeah,
basically halfway line. I think I think that might be his first ever Prem goal or second because I remember hearing the other week that he'd not scored one. So that was either his first or like very first ones.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so what a way to do it! Get one, if not the first goal in the Premier League for yourself. It's unbelievable.
Mm,
But really, Sunderland just showing that they're going to be so hard to beat, especially at the Stadium of Light. I mean, they've not lost there in the league all season.
mm,
Their three losses have come away from home, and it moves them up into sixth, coming back against Bournemouth, which is a great result. It can't go unnoticed. You know, like Bournemouth, as we said, they've been getting so much praise, and rightly so. They have looked really good, but I mean, just how impressive is that to go 2-0 down to 3-2?
It's massively impressive because they got praised for their defensive record near the start of the season, and they, sort of brushed that aside by putting three past them there.
Yeah,
And you're getting all of the sort of summer signings linking up from previous seasons. Enzo Lefebvre with a class penalty, who they
yeah.
signed for the championship, and then they got Bertrand Traore got on the score sheet with an
I
assist from
didn't.
Saka.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was there,
I
Bertrand
know.
Traore. He
Yeah,
just
I
popped
know.
up, and I saw him on the score sheet, and I was thinking, what? Since
Yeah,
when did he play for Sunderland? So another good bit of recruitment there.
exactly. Another good bit of recruitment. And Xhaka got the assist for that as well. And then you got Brobby with the winner. So literally, all three of them goal scorers have been transferred into the club in the past year. Well, in let's say 2025, because
Yeah,
joined in on loan in January last year, because it was one of the signings of the window, because it
I
was like
remember
a
that.
Roma to Sunderland at the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the fuck are you doing? But now you can see the sort of vision that he would have had. And Robbie again with using his strength, wasn't he, for the goal? Great
Yeah,
strength in the corner, and used uh, a brilliant heading ability to get it past Petrovic again. But Sunderland look unbelievable. It's really surprising. I think they start off games slow because they went 2-0 down again. So, you know, they saw it against Everton as an example. They went 1-0 down against Everton. That was a blip. And then Jack has said it in the interview. They needed time to adjust to the game. And every time it seems to be like Brighton, they adjust the games quickly and
yeah.
find a result in the second half. So massive! It's so shocking. I would have never thought that Sunderland would have been sixth place at the start of the season. It would
No, neither.
absolutely mind-boggling at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, at what point does them getting Europe become
Yeah,
a real conversation and not a joke?
yeah,
Excuse me. What do you think? When? Surely, because we've seen Forest do it
yeah,
last season, they were right down the league at the season before that, and then they come back. So I reckon, looking like past January, if they can, especially with what we said about AFCON before, if they can
yeah.
really keep up, then they got a serious chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
AFCON's going to be a hit for them. I think. I think they've got a lot of players going over to that. I think Bertrand Traore is going to be one of them. With
Dingra, got
um,
loads of players going.
yeah, so that'll be a struggle for them. Um, I think that'll be a real test, as you just said. But yeah, I think past January, if they're still in the, even top eight, I think
Yeah,
it's still a massive credit to them, and it speaks words in itself, really, that they're in fifth at this point in the season already. I mean, everyone said it about Forest; they were just like waiting for their downfall to happen, and it sort of didn't happen. I
yeah,
think everyone's waiting for that to happen with Sunderland, and they're like, oh, they've got, let's say, like Arsenal at home, they're going to get fucking battered, and then they went toe to
yeah,
toe with them. So, I think that would definitely be Newcastle fans, because I think they'll be shit scared at the minute that
yeah,
they're doing better than them, miles better than them at the minute.
yeah,
So I think that rivalry, that game, is going to be an absolute classic. I
yeah.
can't wait for that.
I was going to say it's going to be a bloody good game when they play each other, but they're playing some nice football as well. That second goal they scored,
Mm.
Traore's goal, was really nice to
Really
pick up on far right, played it into bloke next to him, not sure who it was, played it to Xhaka, and then Xhaka's oh no, he played it straight to Xhaka, 1-2 with the other bloke, and then Traore's carried on his run, slipped him in, Xhaka did, and then it was just a lovely finish, and I just thought it's a classy goal, and they're really showing that they deserve to be there where they are and definitely in the league. So mate, I reckon they're going to keep it up, Sunderland, and they're going to be a force for any team to play. I
Yeah,
really do think so.
really. Yeah. Be
Yeah,
be surprising if they dropped off massively. I think the only time they might is AFCON, just on the basis of how many players they actually have to go over there, which is
yeah,
completely understandable, because even though their window was good, they would have seen that and been like, "Oh, that's probably the only downside of our transfer window, is that they've signed and kept loads of players that will be going over there just because of the
yeah.
requirement of AFCON, which obviously they can't do anything about, can they?" So,
It
yeah,
is quite strange that there is an African Cup of Nations in
yeah,
the same year as there's a World Cup.
yeah, I don't
Like
get
not even that far apart. That's quite strange. But
it.
anyway, we mentioned their rivals there, Sunderland, Newcastle. They got a fantastic win. people calling it a Dickin at the Hill Dickin Stadium for Everton. 4-1 they lost to Newcastle, and yeah, really impressive. Watched the game. They just ran away with it, really, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a really impressive performance because we'd been slating them before about their away record, and they swept that aside pretty easily, didn't they?
Yeah.
In
What a way to do it.
first minute, wasn't it, that they scored something like that? So
Yeah, Malik Fowl, if that's
yeah,
how you say it.
yeah, really good performance from him. He got a brace, didn't he? Top performance from the summer signing, centre half, German. I remember hearing in the post match interview, Walter Marder was saying about how they joke about how poor he is at heading the ball, and then couple minutes later, he goes and scores a brace from 2
Yeah,
which I think is just classic. But
exactly.
speaking about Walter Marder, that finish just to casually chip it over Pickford, that
Yeah,
was
lovely.
something special. I think that really put the game to bed just before half time.
Yeah, it was a
Watching,
nice finish.
yeah, I was watching it back on Match of the Day, and I think it was Joe Hart which mentioned it. How Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento are so high, even if they know they're not getting the ball, they're making overlapping or underlapping runs, which always puts a effect on the defender's mind.
Yeah,
And that always creates space for them to whipping the ball or a low driven cross, or you know what I mean. And
yeah,
they noticed that, and I did as well, because you could just see how much space it was creating for the Newcastle players. And prime example was that was Lewis Miley's goal. You see
yeah.
Lewis
Great goal
Hall
from Luton.
and Livramento both on out wide, far sides. They've got players out with him because obviously if they're not with him, he's going to have time and space to do whatever with it. They've come across, and that creates space for Lewis Miley to literally have a touch and place it in the bottom corner. So
Yeah.
really good.
Was that the fourth goal, or was that Malik Fowl again?
I think
Because
that's a great foul again. Yeah, I think so.
yeah, Lewis Hall got an assist with one of those crosses, didn't he?
Yeah.
They're really good players, both of them. You
Mm,
know, and Lewis Hall's got to have a shout to be starting left back for England. To be honest, in my opinion, at the World Cup, because he's brilliant, and Livramento's got a good chance to go. But we've got more right backs than we need, really. But actually, saying that, Livramento's played left back a few times, so maybe both of them go as a bit of cover there. But yeah, they're brilliant players, and definitely was working to a treat because Everton, they were getting pulled apart, and the defending wasn't great. You know, I mean, goals from set pieces and crosses. Pickford had an absolute clanger for that second one. You know, I don't think he saw it till late, but it was still really poor.
really bad from his point of view, especially.
Yeah,
Deep
he's
on,
fuming with that.
yeah, 100%. He'd be fuming with that.
Yeah. I mean, another talking point is after the loss away at Marseille in the week. Obviously, Pope went on his walkies and had an absolute mare. Newcastle fans were calling for him to come in and not for him to be dropped and for Ramsdale to come in. And that's exactly what Eddie Howe did. And if it wasn't for a consolation goal, he would have got
Clean
clean
sheet.
sheet on his debut. I'm pretty sure Prem debut anyway,
Yeah,
because he probably played in the cups, hasn't he? But I can't even remember the Everton goal. I don't remember it being great. I know they smacked the bar with an absolute thunderbolt,
yeah.
but I don't remember the goal. So I'm
Mm,
sure Ramsdale will be happy, and he did make a couple good saves actually.
mm.
So maybe that's going to be a long term replacement there.
Yeah, I think that'll be a close one. I think that'll definitely be something that's on his mind because
Yeah,
I think they're both quite similar. Let's say standard goalkeepers. I think they both have quite. I think Ramsdale's the better shot stopper. I don't know.
yeah,
Pope sort of looked like Vicario in that Marseille game. They sort of had similar
yeah.
moments. I mean, they were just in no man's land, and then Aubameyang and Harry Wilson, it was, have both just gone, well, what the fuck are you doing? I'll just sit here in the back of the net then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree. I don't think there's much in it. I know Newcastle fans have been giving Pope a bit of stick for a while,
Yeah.
but I've always thought he's a really good goalkeeper. But I do agree, shot stopping wise, I think he's a bit suspect. So I think they've both got like a clanger in them, if you know what I mean. But I think more so for Pope, it's shot stopping, and then Ramsdale probably crosses and stuff like that. But to be honest, Aaron Ramsdale's been quite harshly done by for a while. Like he was really, really good for Arsenal. I think really good.
Really?
Obviously, he got distracted and stuff, and that kind of made him into a bit of a joke because he said like get distracted. But at the end of the day, he made some unbelievable saves and had some unbelievable matches for Arsenal. So the fact that he was playing for Southampton last season is just mental, and
That's
he
crazy.
he
Yeah.
deserves to be a starting Premier League goalkeeper, doesn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Even, well, it's not even, he shouldn't be a relegation sided goalkeeper for such
No.
a chance. He's way better than that. So when that happened, even when he was at, who was he at someone before that? I can't remember, but
So Sheffield United, wasn't he? Then he went
yeah,
to
United, then he went to Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
So, I'll be very surprised if he doesn't, be cemented as the number one soon, even just if it's for a couple of games, just to take.
Yeah.
But he's definitely making a name for himself when Pope hasn't been playing, which I think is why Eddie Howe's got on his mind that he could be in for a change in his number one very soon.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll speak about Arsenal now. I don't know if you caught the game. You might have been on your way back from the Brighton
I
game still.
to it on the radio, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game actually. Only 1-1, but very feisty, very intense. I love listening to the football on the radio. I think it's brilliant, better commentary than most of the games on the telly. But yeah, really good. Obviously finished 1-1. Arsenal going 17 games unbeaten, still top by 5 points. So not a bad result for either of the teams. Probably Chelsea would be the happier, having been down to 10 men for basically 60 odd minutes, I think it was. It was just not just before half time, but quite late on in the first half. And it was a nasty tackle. We were watching it here, me and my mates, and as soon as I saw it, I was the only one that picked up. I said, "Oh, I did a Gary Neville." I was like, "Oh," I said, "He's in trouble, mate," because it was a nasty tackle. You see how he went into it. He was late, 2 feet up. It was nasty. I said he might be gone here, and yeah, he was. And actually, it was quite a good referee, and he took the sting out of it quite well. I'm not sure if you saw because Caicedo went down like he was hurt himself.
Yeah, I saw that match.
It was embarrassing.
What was he doing?
But the referee waited for him to stop being a baby to then book him, and I was thinking, has he got away with that? But then he went and did the on-field check, but he had to do that, give him his original decision,
Hmm.
and then go and actually do the check. So I thought that was good refereeing. I mean, Chelsea's fourth card in the league already this season, fourth red card, sorry. I've got a little question for you, a little trivia question, George. How many red cards do you think is the record in a Prem season?
Oh, Prem season of all time.
Yeah, I'm just going to double check now. Ever, yeah.
Oh, I'll go 8.
Close. 9.
Really?
9 red cards shared between Sunderland and Queen's Park Rangers. Record number of red cards in a Premier League season. And not even halfway through this season, Chelsea have already got 4. And not to mention, they've got about 3 more in
Yeah, they
other
got 7. They
competitions.
got 7 in total. If you
Yeah.
you know,
Delap in the Carabao,
yeah,
Pedro in the Champions League, another
mental,
one in
isn't
the
it?
Champions League. Yeah, it's crazy. They've got a really weird disciplinary issue. Even after that, actually, when Madueke came on, they were giving him a dog's
Yeah.
abuse in the stands.
Palmer was revving them up. Did you see it?
Yeah, he was giving them beans. And
Yeah.
then which I thought was quite funny. But even then, you're talking about Chelsea's disciplinary issues. Enzo absolutely crunched him. I don't even think he got the ball. He might have got the ball, but he like went through him,
Yeah, he went
and he
proper.
was on the floor, and him and Cucurella were like standing over
Mm.
him, like giving it a big one. I thought,
Yeah,
well,
bit
it
over the
was.
top, wasn't it?
Well, you like to see it, don't you? It
You
was,
like to see it, definitely, but
yeah.
you
When
know,
you're getting so many red cards, they need to chill out a bit.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to add to the list, do you?
yeah. It was one of those games. Both goals came second half. Chelsea, funnily enough, another goal from a set piece. They're only second to Arsenal actually in
Mm.
set piece goals this season, which I didn't actually know. So they're quite well equipped in that area of the field.
Really good
Um,
header as well, to be fair. When
yeah, it was
really good
front post run.
Mm.
There's a lot's been made about Arsenal, obviously, in not just this season but last season as well with their set pieces. But Chelsea showing that they can be a threat from them as well.
Mm. Yeah, it's
So
always
it's really impressive,
good.
something to look out for
Yeah.
whenever you're playing them, really.
Mm.
Um, And then yeah, Arsenal hitting back. Obviously, I had put a little bet on. I had Cucurella to be booked. He got booked.
Yeah.
I had match result to be Chelsea or draw,
Mm.
which it obviously was, and I had Saka goal. I should
Oh,
have put Saka goal or
mate.
assist.
My mate,
See?
my mate had that as well. He said to me he's gonna win 800 quid, and he did the exact same as you. He had Jorginho Rutter to score, but he should have
Oh,
scored or assist. He literally had the exact same moment as you. That's
gutted,
like, gutted.
gutted. But I don't know if you saw really late on. Actually, Timber went up for a
Oh,
header from
yeah,
cross, and
95th
he
minute.
stole it. Yeah, he stole it off Gyökeres.
He
And
was
that,
defo getting there as well. It was about a
yeah,
knock. Oh,
he
that
would have.
was gutted. I remember seeing it was like sort of flashback to last season's game. I think with something to do with it. Exact same situation,
I
and they
think I remember that actually.
and West from like a very similar situation, and it's happened the exact same way this year. It's absolutely
Yeah,
classic. So,
yeah. To be honest, I think a draw was fair in that game.
yeah.
To be completely honest, but move on to Championship. We obviously just with it being us two, we've just got two games that we're going to cover. I wanted to talk about Norwich getting
Mm.
their first win in 13 games. 13 games,
Men.
absolutely crazy. Been a horrible season for the Norwich fans. Absolute woeful not seeing a win in 13 games. But it came 3-1 versus QPR. And then Philippe Clement getting his first win as well as manager. And he's got 4 points in his first 3 games. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. So not bad going. I was just looking at I was just looking at some of his stats really in his managerial record. He won the Scottish League Cup with Rangers,
Yeah.
2 league titles with Club Brugge, and he's been the manager of Monaco as well. So I'm actually really impressed with that
Mm.
appointment. The more I look into it, and yeah, it's good start obviously with a 3-1 win.
Yeah, it was a good start. They would have needed that badly, as you said, not winning in their last 13. And I think that was their first, decent result at home all season, really, apart
Yeah.
from maybe a cup game here and there or something like that. But yeah, Philippe Clement, I think I was quite surprised, the same as you, to see him sort of join that because, Monaco and Rangers, Club Brugge, they're quite, you know, European football standard sides, aren't they? So to see him drop down to Norwich, I think just shows the standards of the Championship, especially
Yeah,
because he's willing to take the step down to a big club in the Championship, which he's seen are massively struggling and shouldn't be in the position that they're in on the basis of how big their club is for that division.
absolutely.
But I was impressed. I watched the highlights. I was bored in Nottingham. I was in my brother's apartment. So I woke up a lot earlier than everyone else. So I stuck on literally every single EFL highlight in in the whole pyramid. So
Fair play.
I think it was Forson that scored one of the goals. Proper good goal. Got it off of the right hand side, I think. Just cut in with his left and then wrapped it bottom bins to secure it. I think that's 3-1. So I think he used to play for United. Might be a different Forson, but I think that's a decent signing from their point of view. He might be on loan, but
That
yeah, I was impressed by that goal.
yeah, that McConville, is it? Rural
McConville,
McConville got an
yeah,
assist, didn't he?
yeah, he played well as well. I saw it on
Yeah,
the highlights. It's good to see because he came on in the cup against
yeah,
Norwich for Brighton, didn't he? So that might have been the reason why he got the move there. Might have impressed
yeah.
him. So
He's a good player. Like him. Yeah, Norwich, very, very strange one. We'll have to keep an eye on them because they're such a big club, as you said. And they're sitting in the relegation zone. I mean, that'd be crazy to see them down in League One. But 4 points away from safety, I'm sure with Philippe Clement that they're going to work their way out of that predicament they're in. But I think it's going to be hard for them to get anywhere near playoffs. I don't think that's going to
really
be
tough, really
in the
tough.
question. But yeah, it's good to see him picking up one of their first wins in of the season and their first win in 13.
Yeah, under Liam Manning, they were dreadful. So
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
good.
there was a stat about it. He didn't. Their old manager Liam Manning didn't even get a home win for them
Yeah,
as manager of
crazy.
the football club, which is just absolutely horrendous for his point of
Yeah,
view, manager. But Clement's put that aside, and he's already got one himself, which is good to see.
yeah. It's not a good stat as a manager that you want to have lingering over you, but happy for the Norwich fans. Some more fans that'll be really happy are the Millwall fans. I saw a few videos of the Saints fans giving them a lot of shit, saying you're just a bus stop in West Ham, but they got a really big win, 3-2 against the Saints. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I was absolutely. I couldn't believe it. To be fair, when I looked at the table and I saw them in third place,
Yeah,
absolutely stunned. To be fair with that, because I think they've gone under the radar. Because I think they've had, good results, but they've been in, split periods. Because I was looking before, 2 wins in a row, but before that they hadn't won in like 4 or 5. So I think that's the reason why
yeah,
I've been sort of steadying on actually speaking about them. But this result, you've got to speak about just on the basis of how well um, Tom De Ecker had been doing at Southampton as the interim manager, which had
yeah,
a 4-match winning streak for Southampton in general. So for Millwall to get that result, I think is absolutely massive. The second half looked absolutely crazy, and the limbs for the goal, it was a last-minute winner.
oh,
Uh,
I'm really,
Unbelievable scenes it looked in front of the main stand. And, big names getting on the score sheet. Femi Aziz with another goal to his name, 6 goals, 1 assist. And never heard of this guy's name, I've got to be honest. But Tristan Kramer, who got a goal and assist, a French right back. So maybe someone to keep on the radar because I think he's got 2 goals, 2 assists from fullback. So clearly doing business from a deeper position.
yeah,
But I think that's an unbelievable result for Millwall. Really big statement, which is, I think, a reason why I wanted to speak about it. Because, as I said, Southampton have been on such an amazing run of form and, looked like a team that couldn't be stopped under him in the
yeah,
3 games that he had because he went 4-0 up inside 30 minutes against Charlton. Uh,
yeah, exactly.
so, really, really positive result. I think it's Alex Neil that's there at the minute.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
so, he's working his wonders there from various experiences at various different clubs in this division and lower down, maybe even higher up. I'm not sure if he's managed higher in the Premier League before. I'm a bit too young for that, but yeah,
I think he might have been the manager actually for Norwich when they were in
really.
the Prem at
Oh
one
yeah,
point. Yeah.
yeah, he might. I remember him.
Yeah, he is a really good manager. As you say, they've been a little bit like in recent weeks off form and maybe a bit inconsistent, Millwall. But I do remember seeing them like in and amongst the playoffs
Yeah,
all season. They've been like in and amongst it, and been thinking like, oh, fair enough, Millwall, like they're doing well. And I think it'd be unbelievable to see them back in the Premier League. I'd love it.
no, cause
Um,
carnage as well. West Ham and Crystal Palace. That'll
oh,
add.
it'd be unreal, mate. It'd be so good. Yeah, just go
Proper.
Millwall away as well. It'd be
Yeah,
nice.
you've been
Proper.
there, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. So Solly March free kick
Like,
somehow went in.
yeah,
Even
lovely.
Jurgen Locadia got on the score sheet that day, mate.
He's going to the World Cup, isn't
He
he?
is. Let's not even get
Unbelievable.
into that, mate. Absolutely bizarre. DJ Locadia.
DJ Lucardia, mate. I only
Yeah.
know one DJ Inch, mate. He loves it. Love
Yeah,
him.
he does love it, the boy. But I think the Saints manager, the interim one's probably going to be safe with that job. I think he'll probably land that.
I think he will. I think
Yeah.
the three results he had before that were really good. I think this game would have just been a blip. I mean, it's not like, as we've just said, Millwall bad side. They've gone into third
Yeah.
place, so and they went toe to toe with them away from home as well. Probably one of the toughest grounds in the league. You would have thought, just on the basis of the atmosphere, would have been
Yeah.
crowd getting on your back because they're quite a nasty lot, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
It's not an easy place to go by any means.
yeah, exactly. Not an easy place, and to get a result from there would have been a really good even point for them. But credit to Millwall, got the job done on the day.
Yeah. We'll move on to League One. Before we get into our main talking points, a couple of other additional points we want to make. I know my old man Simon's just touched down today. We're recording this on Monday. Touchdown in Australia about 9 a.m. our time. He's probably asleep now, but he's probably tossing and turning with the thought of Aaron Connolly being League One top goal scorer at the moment.
Oh
He
my god!
got another goal on the weekend. Leighton
And two
Orient won.
assists.
And 2 assists, there you go. Probably be near the top for assist as well. They
Yeah,
won 4-0. Brilliant from him, proving us right,
love
George, which is what we
proven
love to
right.
see.
Exactly that, mate.
Yeah.
Always backed him. Always backed.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a player in there, as we said, and especially at this level. So if they don't get promoted, which I don't think they're going to, he'll probably find himself back in the championship with
Yeah,
some needed confidence. But yeah, really good. Just thought it was funny. Dad's just gonna live to regret that all season. And another funny moment, as I did see this as well, Laurent Tallage, former Albion youngster. I was watching it and I was thinking, is that him? Because
yeah.
I know Laurent Tallage, that was the bloke that played for the Albion, but then this bloke, it looked like he had really long hair. I don't remember him having long hair, but
Mm.
anyway, he's come off. They're 3-0 down, Plymouth, and he's absolutely levered the ball, which is just on a cone, and he looks like he slipped. Or did he just slide tackle it? What do you think of it? I just thought he slipped as he
Honestly,
tried to kick it.
I do not know. His head was on Mars because he just got sent off, and they're 1 down to Northampton at home. So it's a tragic result. And then
Was that actually after he got sent off? Oh God!
oh mate, honestly, the Northampton fans, oh my god, they were absolutely loving it. You could just hear the waves just building up as soon as he did it. It was so funny. But his head was on Mars. It sort of looked a mix. It looked like he slipped, and it also looked like he just went. So
Just gone up to the ball on the cone and just 2-footed it.
yeah, absolutely sent it into Rowe's head. So
Yeah, is that a
yeah, his
man?
head on Mars, absolute mare for him. Not a good look either. I mean,
No, it's not a
just
good look.
show a bit of passion, but not in that way. I mean, that would have
Yeah,
a bit, a step too far, you could call it.
yeah, definitely. He's had a mare. Moving on to our talking points, and on the topic of having a mare, Blackpool have had a mare at home this weekend. Lost 3-0 to Reading. Very disappointing home result for the Tangerines. Um, we've been talking about can they keep up some form? They won the other week. We spoke about it. Can't remember who it was against now, but they've had a few good results this season. Just thinking, can they kick on and build a bit of momentum and a bit of form? But it seems they can't. 3-0 at home to Reading, a team that are in and around where they've been, and they are this season. Really disappointing. I don't know what do you have to say about it other than Just disappointing, really, for Blackpool.
Yeah, disappointing because they got off to a good start under Ian Evatt, new manager, obviously after Steve Bruce got the sack there. But ever since the win at Cardiff, they've gone a bit back to their usual ways. I think that's four on the bounce without a win. So yeah, it's about the consistency. I think I remember you saying that at the time, even before Ian Evatt was appointed, they were so inconsistent, and you saying that's come back to life really. And credit to Reading, I was watching the highlights. Really good finish by Albion loanee Kamari Doyle. Nice finish into the bottom corner from just outside the edge of the box. I'm pretty sure.
Good player.
Really good player. I do rate him highly. They've also got Marco Mahoney there, like we've said a few times. So yeah, I think Reading are one where I think they're in the sort of where you'd expect them to be, just on the basis of how poor their owners have been in the last couple of years. So they'll be fine just staying in the division because they at least they didn't get into the situation that Sheffield Wednesday are in at the minute, because just a couple of hours ago they got another 6 points deducted, so that puts them into another -10. I think Simon said about it, didn't he? They'll probably have another 2 or 3 coming because they failed to pay players' wages, so they're just going to keep racking up. I mean, it'll be one of the greatest stories in footballing history, I think, if they manage to stay up at this rate.
I don't think they've got any chance, mate, to be honest.
Not got a chance in a minute. But Reading, really good run of form, and just looking at it now, 5 unbeaten as well. If you
in the league,
if you just include in league games, so that's for them. And they got Lewis Swing as well. I think he scored the penalty. Also, Charlie Savage, Robbie Savage's son. So they've got some decent players around the pitch. I think it's just a bit of a mix of young quality and a lot of experience that needs to sort of bow together a little bit more. Because they've got a lot of experienced players in and around the team, like that Piera and goal. I remember him being at United as a third choice, and now he's in League One. And then they got that right back of Freya, something like that. I think he's like a really youngster that's been hitting the heights in League One. They've got a decent academy set up there, and he's been hitting the heights since he's joined the team. So I think if they can find the mix of using the experience that they've got and the young quality they've got in Kamari Doyle, Charlie Savage, Marco Mahoney. I think they could do well. I think they're easily staying in the division, but I think they could push up towards a mid-table spot. But I think playoffs is a bit of a push, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It'll be a push, as you said, with the owners and stuff like that. It's going to be tough, isn't it? And actually, I'm more surprised that they're in 16th, and not further down the division. So they'll be happy with where they're at now. And as you're saying about a young squad, young players gelling together, there's no better way to do that than winning games of football and not losing games of football, and just having that positive feeling when you're stepping out onto the pitch. There's no better way to build a group and to build relationships and that. So yeah, I'm sure they'll kind of just be going strength to strength as long as that form keeps up. But we'll have to keep an eye out on Reading because they're an interesting club. Again, another big club that's underperforming in the pyramid. But a club that's not underperforming is Cardiff. Picked up a very comfortable 3-0 win. So regain their top spot back of League One. Yeah, it looked like a very good team performance you've got here on the notes, and took control of the game. Your question for me, I can see, is do I think they could win the league? I definitely think they could win the league. I think they're the front runners and have been for some time.
Yeah.
And they've got good players all round the pitch. They got new owners who seem to have a good vision, new manager. So I just think, and they're a big club. Cardiff traditionally. It wasn't that long.
Don't say they got no signings. We'll rattle them.
I'm not going to say they got new signings, otherwise we'll be getting hammered on TikTok again. But yeah, they've got young players who have just come into the team, a lot of them. New manager, new owners said, and I think everything just points towards them, going straight back up.
Yeah, even if it's not league winners, I'd be very surprised if they didn't go up in the playoffs or automatics. So, I've got it down in my notes. Speaking about young squads and stuff like that, you got a 22-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 23-year-old scoring all three of Cardiff goals in Fish, Selec, and Ashford, showing how good of a young squad they've got from bringing players up from the youth team, like we tried to say at the start of the season, but
Yeah, exactly.
some people took it the other way. But yeah, I mean, three on the bounce now in all competitions. They had a few games where they'd been dropping points here and there, which has sort of put them away from the top of the table. So seeing them back there, good to see, because
Yeah.
when you're not there, you're sort of chasing the pack, aren't you? And it's hard to keep up with it because this league's so competitive. And I think all leagues are really competitive this year. So
Yeah, definitely. It's very close at the top. And even throughout the divisions, they're all seeming to be really tight.
really tight. And it's another clean sheet as well. They're seventh for the season. Only Luton, I think, have got one more on 8. So really good to see. And they got 1.8 goals a match, so nearly 2 a game. So it's a good thing to have. You're scoring the goals, scoring the most goals in the league per match, and you're also nearly conceded the least amount of goals with 0.
Yeah.
Game, which is the second least conceded. So it's a good combination to have, isn't it? Which I think's a big reason why so high up in the table.
Yeah, it's exactly what you need, and we've spoken before. That's what title-winning teams and promotion-winning teams do. They put the ball in the back of the net and don't let many go in theirs. So it's a very Michael Owen thing to say, but that's what the stats are showing.
Yeah,
That's what the stats are showing, and they're going to be very tough to beat. Very tough to beat in League One.
Especially at home. That'll be a tough ground to go to.
Yeah, really tough. Good fans, good set of fans.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Me and Dad have been up there actually.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think we've touched on in previous games, or maybe it's just a nightmare. But we lost in the last minute. But we won't get into it. We'll move swiftly on to League Two. And a late winner for Notts County is the game I picked out. Really big win against Bristol Rovers, who've not been doing very well. But Notts County at the other end of the table, right at the top, moves them into fourth, and only 4 points off Walsall in first. As I said, late winner. I think it was 87th, 86th minute, and they were 10 men down at the time as well. Not 10 men down.
Yeah.
Only had 10 men on the pitch. Tyrese Hall was sent off actually.
Oh, really?
35th minute. So they were without him for pretty much all of the game, pretty much all the second all the second half and a good bit of the first half as well. So really impressive win to get that late winner and to come away with all 3 points. And it was Matthew Dennis with the goal, who's got 8 in the league now, second top goal scorer behind big Aaron Connolly. So yeah, I was really impressed with that for Notts County, and it gives you a little caveat to speak because you just nipped by their ground yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's a good setup there, to be fair. There, while it was under the floodlights, really. Looked like a good setup. I'll probably put in the 2 photos I got in the edit now, if editor it, or just scrolling on his phone doing something else. But yeah, I was impressed with this. I was hoping they'd be at home because I was thinking about just personally using some of my money just to go and have a watch, but they were away to Bristol Rovers. But I think that's Matthew Dennis coming back from injury, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think the reason why he hasn't got more is because he's been injured. Because I think he was on like seven or eight before his injury. So that shows, he's straight back in there scoring the goal straight away. But I'm just looking at the teams now. It's good to see Tom Lockyer starting centre half for Bristol Rovers, full 90 as well. So really happy to see that. And another clean sheet. Notts County are really good defensively. I think we mentioned that 2 or so episodes ago about how good of a run of form they've been on. And I've got the Football ratings up, and Roos in goal. I think he's Keller Roos. He was the old Derby goalkeeper. He got a 9 rating, so massive fair play to him to keep a clean sheet. Yeah. 5 saves, and he had an XG prevented of 1.72. So very good performance. So very, very decent, got to say, and probably deserves that 9 rating. And they got that Cerula, who used to play out wide for Crawley at wing back, so didn't actually know he was there. So that's a good signing, I think. Oh no, I have seen that actually. He was there last season. My apologies, but anyway, Bristol Rovers need to find some form. I'm not sure where they are, but I'm guessing they're low down.
I think they're 21st, if I'm not wrong. Maybe a bit higher than that. I'll just have a look now, but they are really struggling, mate.
Yeah, they're
21st, yeah.
21st, and they haven't. I've seen it from checking it yesterday. They haven't won a game in about 5 odd or something like that. It's bad. So
25 wins all season for them, 11 losses.
Yeah, really concerning. And if you don't keep up consistency, you'll be flying down that league. And it's a real tough League 2, and they're one of the bigger teams, I'd say, in this division, Bristol Rovers. So to see them in the National League, I think would just kind of look quite weird. You know what I mean? It's
it would, and that's an even tougher division to get out of with the
only 2 promotion spots.
Exactly, yeah, one automatic, that being the champion. So, yeah, they really need to pull their finger out and get themselves out of this run. But just looking at it now, you got them on 17 points, Cheltenham 1 place below on 17, Crawley 2 places above them in 19th on 17 as well. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's very tight there as well as the other end of the table. But yeah, really, really concerning for them. But Notts County fans will be happy. I'm sure that was absolute carnage in the away end.
Especially late on as well.
Yeah, exactly. Late winner, can't beat it. But we just mentioned Crawley there. You got the pick of the games in this one. You want to talk about 4-3 win. Salford come out on top. Crazy match by the looks of it. I've not watched the highlights. I'll probably go and watch them after this because it seemed like a crazy game. But you've watched them, George. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've got to go watch them, because the way Crawley have lost this football match is going to absolutely devastate them. Because watching in the highlights, they were 3-2 up in, I think, the 85th minute. And, they concede the first one for it to be equalised. And then, not even joking, from kick-off, they're flapping about a bit. Got a clue what one of their centre halves is doing, and he may as well have just passed it through to him. And he goes 1-on-1 with the keeper and instantly puts them in front. It goes from 3-2 to 4-3 in the matter of about, I'm probably saying less than 2 minutes based on the celebrations. But Crawley will be absolutely gutted not to get anything from this game, being in front on 2 different occasions. Jay Williams, the player that snapped O'Reilly in the EFL Cup last year, he got 2 goals, to be fair.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That little absolute, he's not really, isn't he? That tackle. But
he didn't say anything about it after. He just laughed, didn't he?
Laughed, yeah, so bad. But he got a brace, so he was probably praising himself the whole way home. No, just on the basis of what he did in the Brighton game where we watched him. But former Wealdstone player Callum Ceesay off the bench to score the winner. 3 goals, 3 assists since joining from the National League. So it just shows the step up. Players can easily take it in their stride, and even from a midfielder in Callum Ceesay, he's got 3 goals, 3 assists since joining. So massive credit to him. But like absolute carnage.
Yeah.
The goals, one after the other, literally instantly. So
Was that what? So they were 3-1 down, and that was
there were
3-2, 3-3.
I think there were 3. It was 2-2. Then Crawley got to make it 3-2. Then one after the other, that Salford made it 4-3. So
Yeah, it must have been carnage. From a Crawley perspective, though, you'd be fuming. Straight off kickoff. Was it just long ball up top?
it wasn't even that. Like Crawley had the kick off, and they were just flapping about with it. Salford went to sort of a high press, really. I think they had 3-4 men around it. And
That
he
momentum.
had an absolute mare on the ball. He just flapped it. Didn't have a clue what he was doing. And then I think they just picked up the loose ball and just drove through and scored. So
Yeah,
they
you'd be
missed a
fuming
penalty
as a manager.
early in the game as well. Harry McCurdy, which would have been on his mind after the game. He would have been regretting it even more now that they lost the game.
Yeah,
And now they're back into the place where, they were only 1 point above the drop, even though they're in 19th.
yeah.
Shows how tight it is down there. And 1 point above the drop. Very
As
tight.
we said,
Get
as we
away.
said, yeah, as we said, talking about Bristol Rovers, so tight down there. I mean, you'd be absolutely pulling your hair out if you're a Crawley manager. I'd be fuming by the manner of which they've thrown that game, really, being in front twice, missing penalties, conceding one after another, gifting goals, just an absolute nightmare scenario. But on the flip side, Salford up to 7th, joint with Cambridge in 6th as well, so they're looking really good. And actually, they're only 1 point off Notts County, who we spoke about too. So, yeah, they're doing really well.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him. I had it down on my notes. I was surprised to see him in 7th, just because of how tight the league table is and how competitive it is. But I think it just shows that if you pick up 2, 3 wins on the bounce, you can fly into a playoff spot, even if you're in
That's
like
it.
15th or 14th, something like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, massive credit to Salford, who have got a good setup there, obviously with the Manchester United players there, and they got.
yeah,
I can't remember his name, the manager, but I think he's vastly experienced, and I've seen some of his team talks as well, revving up
yeah,
players stuff like that. So credit to them, and be good to see him in the playoffs because they're a decently well-known club just on the basis of their owners and who actually is setting up that club. Really,
yeah,
so,
yeah, absolutely. They've got a good bit of PR behind them, haven't they? Good bit of pull in terms of social media. And I stand corrected. It's 2 points off Notts County, but regardless, points still stand.
100%. So congested up there, and it'll be very interesting by the end of the season to see who gets into them playoff places.
Absolutely. But we will move on to National League now. Some really good games in this division this weekend. We're not going to mention it too into detail, but York battered Aldershot 5-1 at home. So another really good result for them. I wanted to speak about Yeovil beating Boston 2-1. New manager Billy Rowley got off to a winning start, so they'll be thrilled with that. And Yeovil, we've spoken about them before, really surprising. I think we all had them, right up there come
Definitely.
the end of the season in our predictions, but they're sitting in 15th, and that'll be a big, big task for Billy Rowley to pull that round. But that's exactly what you want, starting off your first game, getting a big win at home in front of the crowd, getting them behind you. So he'll be hoping to kick on. It was Luke McCormick with the 2 goals as well. So some real positives in there for Yeovil for what's been disappointing and really tough start to the season for them.
Yeah, massively tough. Billy Rowley comes from Walton and Hersham in the Ishman Prem. Not in the Ishman Prem, the Ishman like Premier Division South East or something like that.
Right, so
But
one below Lewis, is it?
yeah,
And
something like that. Maybe the same, maybe below, something similar. But it's a really good appointment because Walton and Hersham had been unbelievable in that league, and were top by some way. I'm pretty sure. So I think he would have been on the radar for a couple of clubs.
yeah,
Might
really big
be
jump though.
big. That's what I was about to say. I think that would have been 2, maybe even 3 leagues above. So to get a first win under his radar in front of the home fans, it would have been a big crowd there as well. Yeovil aren't a small club in this division, are they?
Yeah,
It would have
exactly.
been massively important for him. And you've got down here on your notes, they've got some really favourable fixtures as well. Truro, Eastleigh, Braintree and Brackley.
Yeah,
All games easily winnable just on the basis of the table. So
yeah,
be interested to see how they get on in those 4 games because Billy Rowley will be opening to get off to a positive start, sort of similar to Chris Agotta at Sutton because they're both in similar
yeah.
situations near the relegation zone. But hopefully he can have a similar story to turn their season around for them.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, with him coming from maybe 2, 3 leagues below, it's massive that he's got that for his confidence, take a bit of pressure off. In and amongst those games, they do have a game in there with Forest Green, so you expect them to probably lose that. But as you say, there's some really favourable fixtures that they can get good bit of momentum behind them, good bit of form going on, and just get the positive vibe back. Because Yeovil, as we've said before, big club in this division, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that any team going there is going to struggle.
Yeah.
Really, really going to struggle. So it'll be interesting to see, and it was a good win for them again, as we've said. But you've got down here on your notes, Altrincham versus Scunthorpe was a good game, 4-2, 6-goal thriller.
Yeah, well, what surprised me the most about it is how Scunthorpe lost the game. They were 2-1 up in the 88th minute, and they somehow conceded 3 goals, which is bonkers. I mean,
Talk about capitulation.
yeah, exactly that, mate. Exactly that. But yeah, Altrincham will be absolutely buzzing with that. To win it that late on, and even get a fourth in the end to make
Yeah,
it 4-2. They would have taken 3-2, but to even get a fourth in the end, absolutely massive for them. Crankshaw was the hero for them, off the bench with a brace in the 91st and 95th minute.
absolute
Uh,
scenes.
Absolute scenes, exactly that. It would have been carnage for them. Matthew Coslow had the equaliser, who's experienced at the club with over 150 appearances for them. So got it down. It's always crucial to have a well-known face at the club. You don't want players, sort of that are dotted about from everywhere. You could say because,
Oh, absolutely.
sort of like Lewis, really, as an example. They keep changing their squad, fully adapting it, and then they have no players that at the club. Someone like Matthew Coslow, he's had 150 appearances. Their squad probably would have changed, like a lot
Yeah,
of non-league side squads just do, just because of players maybe having good performances from leagues below and players wanting to
yeah.
drop down divisions. So it's good
You,
to see.
you always need that player or those players who not only are experienced within football, because that's a big part of it, but are experienced inside the club. They
Mm.
know about the values of the club. They know how much the fans give. They
Yeah,
just know they get what it's like to play for the club,
yeah,
and they tie the knot within the dressing room.
mm.
They knit the whole team and all the staff together, and the team to the fans. That's exactly what you need. So yeah, really good that they've got a player of that caliber, Altrincham, if they want to kind of push on up the league. They're in 14th for the moment. If they want to push on up the league, they're going to need players like that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking when you said about Scunthorpe just throwing away the game, you know, you've got to be fuming, you know. Altrincham, it's a 2-1 down in the 88th minute. They must be thinking, oh, we've lost this. And then the flip side, Scunthorpe fans away from home be thinking, oh, this is a big away win, buzzing. And just throw it away. This is my question to you and to everyone listening. Is there anything worse than losing last minute away from home and just on that car journey back? Oh, it's awful. Touched on me and Dad going up to Cardiff and losing in the last minute. There's been so many for Brighton when we've been watching. That was one. We've had Villa away last minute. It's just the worst. I don't. Let us know in the comments. Well, I don't think there's anything worse than that. I don't know, George. What do you reckon?
Definitely up there. That's for free. I mean, something that would make it worse would be like, you know, maybe a cup final last minute. You
Yeah,
bottle it. But it's the worst way to lose, especially away from home. That is like my worst nightmare. Like if we had like bottled the lead yesterday against Forest in like the 91st minute and had to travel straight back down, college in the morning, you're getting absolute shots from your mates because you bottled it in the last minute. It's one of the worst feelings in football.
yeah, it really is. But going back to Scunthorpe, we've got a very slim chance of catching them, have Altrincham in the playoffs because they're 7 places off the playoff spots and 9 points as well. So Scunthorpe looking good, but Altrincham, slim chance they're catching them.
Yeah, very slim, but I think the reason that it's been that way is because their away form's been so poor. 18
Yeah,
points at home compared to 8 away. So if you want to be in the playoffs and having a shout, you've got to improve the away form because you
that's what
can't.
we said before.
That's what we've said before, isn't it? You've got to be doing. It's good to see them doing well at home, but you can't just be doing it at home. You've got to be getting performances away from home. So that's not what they've been doing recently. And Scunthorpe have a bad run of form as well. One win in their last 5 in all competitions, so they'll need to be on it because they'll be wanting a playoff place to, you know, be back in the Football League because they have been in the last couple of years. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they'll be open to getting the playoffs and hope that Altrincham don't catch them up.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll move it on to National League South. And you can't talk this week about the National League South without talking about one game in particular. League leaders Hornchurch suffered their second defeat of the season. 5-0 away to Worthing. I mean, incredible result for Worthing. Regular listeners will know that we have a soft spot for Worthing, so we're probably going to be grinning throughout this. But amazing result for Worthing, up to 4th. As I said, still unbeaten in the league under Adam Hinchelwood, and some of the goals on display were just unbelievable.
Mm.
I watched the highlights. Hornchurch had very minimal chances. Raz Coleman de Graft, he was on fire. You know, we've mentioned him before. His assist for Brad Dullahan's first goal was just brilliant.
Nice.
Jinky McJinky, lovely footwork, put the ball in. Brad Dullahan header, bottom corner, easy as that.
Yeah.
Set up, put on a plate for him. As I said about Hornchurch, very minimal chances, but a big one at 1-0 was missed. I think it was too long before Worthing went up the other end on the break, and Hornchurch defender rather cynically pulled the
Yeah.
Worthing attack
Right.
down, getting a red card, resulting in a free kick, which again Raz Coleman de Graft, I think it was his third free kick of the
Yeah.
season, just
Yeah.
wrapped it in bottom bins. Lovely free kick, goal and assist for him.
Mm.
And then the goals were, well, sorry, Brad Dullahan's second goal was in between first goals for Byron and Odecanero, probably butchered that, to seal a beautiful 5-0 win for Worthing. And yeah, thoroughly impressive. Seeing the goals go in, I was just thinking, blimey.
Absolutely mental. Couldn't believe it when I saw it.
No.
Massive shock. I mean, I thought it would have been one of the games where Hinshelwood might have been tested just on the basis of how well Hornchurch has started. But clearly he's brushed that aside, and what four of them. What a performance. Raz Coleman de Graaf with another free kick. It's one of those where we've been watching him since, he was a young lad at Lewis, and we were hyping him up there. And to see him doing so well, be very surprised if he didn't get a move. Even if Worthing didn't get promoted, I'd be very surprised to see him not move up a division, maybe. And that's the same with Brad Dillahan, another goal. What a player he's turning out to be in this division. I don't think he suited the way that Chris Agotta played, and that's why he struggled since when he came back to the club from West Ham. And ever since Hinshelwood's been back, he's just been like his old self and looking like, the reason why he got the move to West Ham Academy when he was at when he was at Worthing before with Andy Hinshelwood. So to see him still going at this level, absolutely incredible. And I've got a Worthing save going on Football Manager, so I actually do know quite a few of these, Byron and Orienko, something like that, isn't it? And yeah, they're both really good goals. Byron's been in the Isthmian Prem before this, so another player making a step up. And yeah, I think it's just a massive statement victory, especially. And there's other games which we won't talk about massively, but there were so many high-scoring games in this league this week, which we'll touch on briefly in a sec. But I think this game in particular was the result of the week, because absolutely incredible to sort of humble the league leaders 5-0.
Yeah, you couldn't talk about National League South and not talk about this one. As you say, it's going to be a real dent for Hornchurch. Worthing a team that's closing in on them, and to it only be your second loss all season is impressive. But to do it in that manner could be really, really important. You'd think going into the New Year and Christmas time, and them really wanting to, solidify their top spot, because it is a surprise them being up there. You think for Hornchurch's sake that it's not going to just dent their confidence. But I think it's a really good point what you made about Brad Dullahan, because he's definitely not a target man, so he didn't suit that long ball from a gutter. But yeah, he's just incredible, and I hope Worthing will go up and keep those players, because they have got a really good squad there, and now they've got the manager that's getting everything and the most out of them. But yeah, a few of the other games that you mentioned, Dagenham win away 5-0 at Totton. Really good result for them against a team that's been doing really well, Totton. So for them to lose 5-0 away.
Patrick.
Oh, really? Unreal.
First half hat-trick.
There you go.
Arrow.
He started the goals.
Yeah, hey.
So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, Tottenham haven't had the best few weeks, but they have been doing well.
Yeah.
And Dagenham haven't, so really surprising result. And then Eastbourne Borough wins 6-0 at Hampton and Richmond. I completely missed that, to be honest, mate. What a result for Eastbourne Borough. Their first win of the season, isn't it?
First win at home all season. Absolutely shocked by that. I think it's Pemi Adrengu. Might have butchered it. But he got a quadruple for Eastbourne Borough, so massive fair play to him. He's been one of Borough's best players in what's been a tragic start. But, after the 7-0, they put that aside and go put fucking six past another side. So fair play to Tom, and he's clearly got a reaction out of his players. And also, fair play to Andy Carroll, because ever since he started, actually being in the starting 11 for Dagenham, he's actually been in and around the goals recently, and hat trick as well. In I think it was like 30 odd minutes he got it in. So
Yeah, really,
fair play.
really good. Yeah, and you wanted to speak about Maidenhead. Really good. Well, really special game on the weekend. You got here on your notes.
Yeah, special one for them. Alan Devonshire says goodbye. He's retired, the 69-year-old, after a whopping 10 years at the club in total. Absolutely incredible. You've got to give your hats off to him. What a legend. He's been involved 2 different stints at the club, but his first stint, he joined them in 1997, which just shows how long he's been there for.
Crazy.
Absolutely mental. And I think he joined it back in 2015. Right, sorry, a few technical issues there, but with my phone, I'm getting an iPhone 17 soon, so should be all sorted. This phone's about 5 years old. So anyway, continue on from what I was talking about with Alan Devonshire. I mean, that's massive credit to him. You know, I think that's what involved with the club for about 30 odd years, that nearly. So absolutely mad.
Yeah.
So yeah, to see him go after 10 years, and it was a really good send off by Maidenhead, who'd started off the season badly, which was a question I was going to ask you on the basis of, you know, if it's the right time to happen. You know, it's going to be a big miss for the club, but, you know, being relegated from the National League and the poor start that they've had, it was probably the right time to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah, absolutely. And just on what you're saying, 10 years at the club, even more in previous stints, it's so respectable, especially at this level where you see so many managers just turn over and
Yeah.
clubs just turn over different managers. So, yeah, really, really respectable and commendable, but it seemed like it was the time to go. But in terms of Maidenhead going forward, they scored 9 goals in 2 games,
Yeah.
2 clean sheets. Obviously, he's leaving them with a 3-0 win. So whoever's going to take over is taking over a team that's on a nice little run and got a bit of confidence going on.
Yeah, it's good that they sent him off sort of in that way. 6-0 win
Yeah.
and a 3-0 win since it got announced. So massive credit to them. Dawson and Umrah with goals in both of the games when he was departed, and Dawson even got himself in the National League South Team of the Week for his performance against Chippenham. So congratulations to him. But
Yeah.
so I don't know if I'll send it to you after. But Sam Barrett did a classy tribute. He was famously known for owning a flat cap every single game, basically. Sam Barrett scored and he got a flat cap and he put it on his
Um,
head, which I thought was really classy from his point of
yeah.
view. But
Love to
yeah,
see it.
I think it's the right time because Maidenhead had started off the season poorly, and this is probably the 2 games where he's been announced as departures. It's probably been the 2 best results of the season for them, which
Yeah.
is just classic in football, isn't it?
Yeah, sod's law, mate. Sod's law. But yeah, nice to see that wholesome football content. We'll move on and finally talk about Isthmian Premier Division. Really good game was a game that we actually went to the reverse fixture on the opening day. Hashtag versus Lewis. It was 2-0, I believe, on the day we saw hashtag win on the opening day of the season. It was very underwhelming game, but this one, complete opposite, far more interesting. 3-all. And hashtag they've just been slipping down the league. We've spoke about it not too long ago. They've actually slipped into the relegation zone, which I think is the first time in maybe ever that they've been in this position. Definitely a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't remember seeing them in a position like this, but they showed the spirit that they've got as a team and as a club. They went 1-0 up early on, eighth minute I think it was, and then
Mm-hmm.
Lewis went 2-1 up, then hashtag pulled it back to 2-all, and then Lewis went 3-2 up, and this was all before half time.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy game. They then scored to equalise 3-all. So as I said, showing that spirit, but they weren't able to find a winner. but it looked like a crazy game, to be honest, where two teams that are struggling really for a bit of form,
Yeah.
for wins, and just can't really seem to get any momentum going. But they had a good slog on Saturday.
Yeah, it looked like a really good game. I think what was good to see on the Lewis perspective was all the players that Craig Nelson had brought along with him from Tunbridge Angels all got on the score sheet. Bobby Unwin, Michael Taylor Crossdown, Alfie Allen, all from Tunbridge Angels, all getting on the score sheet, which is good to see. But Evan Kouassi, who they got from Folkestone last season, I think he's in the Baller League tonight as well. I think he's playing for one of the teams. I don't really look at it that into detail, but I know he's playing for one of the teams.
Yeah.
He got a brace, and I rate him highly. I remember seeing him playing for Folkestone against Lewis last season. I was impressed by him. So when Hashtag got him in the summer, I was pretty surprised to see him go there. And he's doing the job there after they're struggling badly. It's
Yeah.
both of them really, because Lewis got off to a decent start, but ever since
Yeah. I've
that
not been able to
Brentwood,
kick on.
ever since that Brentwood game, they've been tough games. I mean, Wingate and Finchley and Chatham are two really good sides on form, but they should be beating Hashtag, and they should probably be beating Cole Shorten.
Yeah.
If they want any chance of getting in the playoffs, which I think is
I
very,
think
very
that's out of the
unlikely.
picture, isn't it? Yeah, I agree.
That's absolutely out of the picture. But in football, you never know what could happen. But yeah, sides near the bottom of the table, which is weird to say because I think at the start of the season we all had them quite. No, actually, I think Simon had Lewis very low down, and you had him mid-table and I had him in playoffs. So
Yeah.
we sort of all had him in three different areas. But for Hashtag, I think we all had him quite high up just on the basis of them being quite a well-known club and players
Yeah.
wanting the sort of, the attention, you could say, because, they're getting 100k viewers on average a week, really. So they're going to have a bit of attention from that, get a bit of a following and stuff like that, just to benefit themselves, which I think's fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a game where both teams would have been disappointed to drop points. And, I've not watched the highlights. I'll probably after this go and watch the Hashtag, channel game and see what the goals
Yeah.
were like and see, on the basis of the highlights who could have or should have won the game. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think both sides would have been disappointed with a point, I would have thought.
Yeah, especially from the position. Well, Lewis in particular being 2-1 up, and
Yeah.
even Hashtag being 1-0 up early on and not being able to, build on it, and then equalising with about half an hour to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely agree. But we'll talk about a team that we were slating last week, Welling.
Mm.
Got a much needed home win 3-1 versus Cheshunt. Ended a run of 7 games without a win or a draw.
Mm.
So yeah, really, really good for Welling.
Yeah, massive win under new manager Ryan Maxwell, who we spoke a little bit about last week, just about him, being a manager in higher leagues, how he could bring that and help implement that into a Ishmael Premier side like Welling, who've just been relegated from the National League South. But I watched the highlights of the game and saw Femi Akinwende on the score sheet. Doesn't surprise me. He's an absolute beast in this league, and he has been for years now.
Yeah,
Two late goals for the win, sort of similar to the Altrincham game. Was 1-1 until the 87th minute, but Troy Howard got on the score sheet. Great goal from him. Great crossing from Jamie Reynolds off the bench. Whips it in, and then Troy Howard, top volley, top corner. So very
no,
good from him. And fans were absolutely ecstatic. I've got here on my notes, as you can imagine.
yeah,
And seven game run without a win, and Akinwende's goal, just what he does really, using his body from a ball whipped in, and he sort of just shielded it, so he was able to poke it in and secure the game off. But Cheshunt, really bad run of form. Now
yeah,
only won one game out of their last 13, so a really good start, but tough period for them at the minute because you can have a good start, but as we say a lot, it's about if you can keep it up. And at this minute in time, Cheshunt haven't.
Yeah, they're struggling. They're struggling for that consistency in particular. But yeah, massive result for Welling, and obviously new manager not too long ago. Femi Akinwande, it might be his first goal or first. He's only got a few for the club. I think it's
I
not
think it's
been.
free. I was checking.
Yeah, it's not been like firing
No.
properly. But some good signs there. Obviously, with the new manager starting to pick up maybe a couple of wins. Obviously, a win here, getting that from Wenday scoring. So yeah, definitely some positives for Welling, and they'll be hoping that they can start to climb up there because I think again one of those teams where we had them right up there, didn't we?
Had them right up there, and they're right down there. So
Exactly. We
hopefully
bot we bottled it.
we bottled it big time, basically. So get your A game on, Welling, so we don't look like melts at the end of the season.
That's it. What a way to finish. We'll put a pin in it there. Thank you very much, George. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be seeing you on Wednesday night, won't I?
Yeah, Wednesday night we'll be talking about. Watch out for next week. We should have a guest on, shouldn't we?
We'll
Should
have a
be
guest on,
should be all
returning
sorted.
guest.
So from now on until Simon returns, we'll have guests every single week. So this is the only one with me and you, Stone. Unless anything happens, obviously we can just do it
Yeah,
us two like this again. But yeah, 30 Wednesday. Looking forward to it. Buzzing
big
for it, to be
game.
fair. Still
Yeah,
buzzing after
so
yesterday, so I'm right up for it. Hopefully we can get another win
yes,
and
mate.
build on. Can't
Big
wait. Let's
game.
go. Big game.
Yeah. Look out for the socials. We'll have some content on there. Thanks for
Definitely.
listening. Goodbye from me.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.